I am so glad you are here. I'm Liz from Megas Books, and it is Magical Tuesday in my world. So let's bring a little color to our magic, shall we? What do those colors mean? Why use them? Why go with it? Well, there's actually kind of a lot to know, and yet not that much either. Get everybody on board and bring up comments. So today we're inspired by Richard Webster's Color Magic for Beginners. This is coming out of Llewellyn Publishing. And he does a really thorough job in here, I gotta say. He does cover more, in my opinion, than just the colors and what they do. But I'm always going to recommend that, yeah, check out what other people think a color means. Does blue mean health and healing to you? Or does it remind you of a police officer's uniform here in the US, at least, and make you think of authority? That also means that sometimes in different decades, you get different meanings for colors. And in different cultures and in different subcultures, you get different meanings for those colors. So when you look at that blue, when I said blue and we all thought of the color blue, what shade did you think of? Did you think of a light blue, something closer to a sky blue, or did you think something closer to this navy blue that I've got on today? And what does it mean that it's a light blue versus a deep blue, a dark saturated blue? How does your mind think about those things? Now, we could say that blue is about healing and health, and that's a very old traditional way of looking at it, but we could also say it's about authority and being rescued. Where does your mind go? For many Americans, the first thing they think of when I say green is money, because for so very long in this country, green was the only noticeable color on any of the paper money, any of the bills that we carried with us to buy things. That's not true anymore. So is that going to fade as a meaning for green? And does it matter what shade? Does a pale green make you think more of nature? And a dark green make you think more of money? And are we going to revert back to the older color for money and commerce and business, which is orange? How are we thinking about money? How are you thinking about money and the colors that it relates to? What makes your soul chime with that color will matter more than anybody who's gathered information has to say about it, but it can be really clarifying to go ahead and look it up as well. So I wouldn't be afraid of using these resources like Richard Webster's Color Magic. I'm sure I've already done a video on color magic at some point. I'm sure there are plenty out here in the internet world. So I'm sure you can find lots of great resources that tell you historically for certain cultures at certain times what different colors have meant. Is purple about royalty and majesty and generosity, the good sides of royalty when they take care of their subjects well? Or do you think of a paler color? And does a pale purple, a more lavender or violet color, does a more pale color make you think of social freedom? It really might, depending on how you perceive color. Red is for most people about passion, but historically, Fridays were a bad luck day because they were associated with passion. Because it could mean finding your passion and grasp a hold of the tail of that dragon and going forward, but it could also be about being overrun by your passions. Alcoholism would be a really good example of where a lot of energy being thrown into something could backfire, could not be the wisest choice. Passion can be good, passion can be bad. Depends on the circumstances. So do you pick that red color? Or maybe you go with pink? Not quite so overriding. Really depends on your situation and what your needs are. But you can definitely add color to your magic workings with an altar cloth, the color of any candles you might be using, what you're wearing all day. can set you up for a specific expectation as long as that color that you've chosen to wear means something to you. You've made it a deliberate choice, a piece of ritual that you can do quickly, easily, but with intention. And as long as that intention is there backing up your interpretation of the color, anything you do intentionally with that color is going to be a step in the right direction for your magical working. Well, I'm over time like I always am. So thank you for tuning in. On behalf of myself, Liz, and the rest of the crew here at Magus Books and Herbs, we love your magical you. We love that you're so amazing. And of course, we appreciate the little magical things you can do for us here in social media land. I hope we see you in the shop soon or online at magusbooks.com. In the meantime, have a wonderful week and blessed be.